You're watching eDave.com.
Now, I know we're here with Robin Meade.
That's funny you noticed that.
And I did. I completely did. I was like, it's like, all right, Barbara, Robin. So he has invited you to jump with him again for his 90th birthday.
Honey, I was sitting there in the interview, and the last thing he said, I asked him the last thing was, are you going to jump again? And he said, yes, for the 90th.
Right.
And honey, I saw my opening right there. I'm like, okay, I'm sealing the deal.
You're like, I'm going to lock this in now.
I got it on tape. We're going again when he's 90. 90.
And he's going to do it.
He will. And I'll do it with him. I'm not one of those people who will sign up for like the local skydiving just for something to do. I will do it for a story, and I'll do it for the coverage.
Okay. What do you think of these people? I talked to a lady today. Her name's Faye. She's jumped 343 times.
She's serious. She must be in one of those clubs. They have these skydiving clubs.
She's 53 years old.
Wow.
Intense. And then I have another guy who called in, John, who's going to skydive with his fiance. They're like celebrating getting married.
Well, yeah, and you see these people, and we'll have them on the news where they're getting married in the sky. Or they'll get married, in the plane and then take the plunge.
So Robin, you want no part of that?
I don't even watch scary movies. I don't bungee jump. I don't ride roller coasters. But I did call President Bush 41. I'm like, you're an adrenaline junkie, aren't you? And he agreed. Yeah, basically.
And his family was out there. And did they have Jeb and they have George W. there.
And you see, neither one of them is in the sky. They got their feet firmly right there.
And where were the other two brothers?
He mentioned Neil. But he really didn't say.
Okay.
I wasn't sure which family was going to be there. I knew that President Bush 43 was going to be there.
Okay.
Because we were at the airport and there was a lot of Secret Service details.
Well, and I'm sure
that's cool.
I'm sure they were happy to see you. They recognized you.
Well, I didn't know if they would or not, but during the press conference.
Well, because I noticed they have. Okay, and we're here with Robin Meade from HLA, and you had an exclusive interview with President Bush Sr. And I noticed, so Sr. is making the speech. I did it. I feel great.
To
it's
the press. Yeah, and it's live.
And you're kind of on the side, and he's like, Robin, come over here. And then he calls his sons over there, and they were a little reluctant to be in the press conference.
Well, President Bush 43 said, I'm on a media blackout, jokingly. But, you haven't seen him in front of the cameras since he's not in office, basically. They have basically this code of conduct that President Bush 41 talked about, where they don't like to talk about the guy at the helm now. You've done your job, you step down, you let him come in. And so anytime you get in front of the press, there's liable to be a question about, well, how do you think President Obama's doing? And I could tell President Bush 43 didn't want that to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's why you sense a little reluctance on his part to be in front of the cameras.
Okay, and then nobody ended up asking that.
I think he was so relieved.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right. He did. President 43 asked me something. I don't know, what did Robin think? And I almost felt embarrassed because I knew other press was there, and I didn't want the story. It's not about me. It's about him, President Bush 41. So I just kind of nodded my head like, yeah, I'm fine.
You were good. What a situation to be in. Two former presidents. You just stepped out of a plane.
Governor of Florida, former. Yeah.
It's pretty intense, and that's why you are Robin Meade. And we're going to sing a song together, okay?
Oh, Cheese Factor.
Okay, this is our McDonald's Daily Cheese, and this is a special request from Robin, a song associated with skydiving. Let's see if I can get this right. Okay, so...
I will be texting you. I am like one of those hounding texters.
Meanwhile, you sent me a text, and I'm like, oh, I have Robin Meade's phone number now. You better be careful. Okay, so when you drive down to CNN, the CNN Center every day, and is your billboard still up?
It is. Okay, I have a big head anyway. I don't mean that I have a big ego. I mean I physically have a big head.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do. It's okay. It balances
out
my backside. But anyway, so yeah, you look up and there's a bigger version of my head. It's a little frightening.
And then you're everywhere. You go into the CNN Center. It's like, Robin. And you go in there and you're like, yeah, it's me. I would.
You'd be like, interns.
Yes.
No, you'd be the line from Anchorman. Hey, everybody, come see how good I look.
Yes. So no, you do not do that.
No.
Okay. I got a question from a listener about something that you say on your show all the time, Morning Sunshine, which is just so happen that's going to be the name of your new book, which is coming out in September.
Oh, you're so good. That was a nice segue.
Yes. And we're going to have you back when that comes out. Now, this guy wanted to know, Dean, is that directed at someone specific or is that just in general?
It's in general, and people ask that all the time. They're like, who's Sunshine? Like it's the name of a dog or something. I don't know. Or, my mother's name Sunshine. But I say Morning Sunshine because growing up, my dad would say, Morning Sunshine, kids, come on, let's go, let's get up. But it kind of meant get your butt out of bed before I put a boot in it, right?
Okay.
So in a way, I say it toward the viewers kind of as okay, let's go, let's get going. Because you could go back to bed and then you're going to be late, and that's no fun.
Well, you do get everybody going in the morning on HLN with the Morning Express. And one thing I was always fascinated with, I read this in Entertainment Weekly. I know you probably get to people to mention this all the time. Stephen King, the author, his obsession with Robin Meade.
This was such a surprise. Unbeknownst to me, I did not know he was going to do this, but I don't know, a couple years ago in Entertainment Weekly, he does this TV column, and it was Katie Couric leaving the Today Show.
Right.
And he basically wrote, oh, really? I haven't watched in years because I watch HLN. Well, headline news back then, in the morning show. We were all like, oh my gosh, Stephen King likes us. And it could be a new scary book for him, and that now we're probably his stalkers. We're like, Stephen King likes us.
Wait, P.S., didn't he reference you in a book? Did I read that somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
And your listeners, my viewers, they were kind enough to point it out. I didn't know that either. But he put down the time. I was like, how good is he? He actually put down the time when we're on. I'm like, I love this man.
What book was it? Do you remember? Because he's written so many. I mean, there's just so
Something
many.
starts with a D.
Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Does it sound something right? Okay.
You know what? If you're
Don't tell him.
If you're going to get a shout out in a Stephen King book, it's pretty hot, Robin.
And the funny thing, it was the main creepy character. He watched it. So that kind of tickled me, too. It was the abnormal character.
That's awesome. Well, we will be watching you every morning. It is such a joy that you came down to see us. It's such a huge thing. Everybody watch HLN every morning. It's the Morning Express. We're going to see you again in September when you come back to plug your book.
I'm telling your fellow listeners. I mean, I'm a fellow listener with them. I'm one of them who adores Mary Davis.
Oh, Robin.
I knew the show. I knew the cheese. I knew the request. I came in here with my little list. I know how this goes. So,
all right,
I'm with your listeners.
Well, and I'm one of your viewers. I come in every day, and it's always on HLN in the studio. I'm like, what's up? I will admit, I like to check out what you're wearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Women do. We want to see what you're wearing, what you're doing.
Do you like it, or
yes,
do I need some help?
Gorgeous.
I don't have any help. Like, there's no stylist or anything. It's just whatever is talking to me in the closet.
You're absolutely perfect. If I were going to switch teams, Robin, you're my number one.
God bless you.
All right. One more song for skydiving. You're the greatest. Robin Meade from HLN. Everybody watch. I may switch teams now. I don't know. Does that make you uncomfortable?
Well, given that I work with your husband,
No!
we will have...